Hello guys, welcome back to Shapiro. So in our SQL series, I'm back with another lead code question, and this lead code question is the last question of SQL series. So congratulations to all of you who have been consistent and committed to the series and solved all the questions with me. So let's start with the last question of the series. In this question, we have been given a user table which has user ID, name and mail as the columns. Okay, here user ID is the primary key, and this table contains the information about users who have signed in to some website and have their mails. Okay, now from these mails and users, some users have invalid mail. So we have to filter out those invalid mails and return the valid mail. For that, we have been given a criteria of a valid mail. A valid email has a prefix name and a domain. Okay, it has a prefix name and a domain. So the prefix name is a string, okay, and the string contains letter upper and lowercase. Fine. It may contain digits, underscore, a period. A period is a dot, and or dash. Okay, it may contain a dash as well. Okay, and the domain should be @leadcode.com. Okay, the result can be in any order. Now, if you look at this example of users table, we have user ID, name and mail. If you check all the users one by one, we have user ID 1. Okay, the user ID 1 has a valid mail because the user ID 1 has a valid prefix, which is all the alphabets in lowercase, which is valid. Then we have the domain name, which is again valid. So user ID 1 is counted with valid mail. User ID 2 is not counted in valid mails because it does not have any domain. User ID 3 is again counted as valid mail because the prefix passes the criteria for the valid mail and the domain name as well. Okay, now the user ID 4 also passes the criteria for valid mail because the prefix contains the alphabets, dot, and again some alphabets in lowercase. Then we have the domain @leadcode.com, which is again according to the question. Now, user ID 5, 6 and 7 does not pass the criteria for valid mail because user ID 5 contains hash, which is not supposed to be used in the prefix for a valid mail. Okay, then we have user ID 6, which has @gmail.com as a domain name, which is again not valid for the accepted as valid mail. Okay, and this user ID 7 starts their prefix with a dot, which is not valid again. Okay, so this was the criteria. We have to write the SQL query for same. Let's start with the SQL query. SQL query is very easy, just like the question. We will select all the columns because the output table requires all the 3 columns. So we will select star from our users table. Then here's the condition where mail, and we will use regular expression. Okay, this regular expression is used for string matching. Okay, whenever we have to match a string in a column or in a row, some rows, so we use this regular expression. Okay, like this. Okay, now we have this notation states the starting of a string. Okay, this regular expression, this string of mail should contain alphabets from lowercase to uppercase, numbers. After that, they should contain a dash, a period and a hyphen. Okay, then we have a domain name, so it should pass the criteria of this domain name. Okay, so this is the query for this question. Let's run it. So our query is correct and we got our expected output. Do practice the same question in your lead code, and we have completed the SQL series. You can go to the channel and check all the questions. As you can see on the screen, we have done all the questions. Do practice each question in your lead code. Let me know in comment section if this series helped you somewhere, and do subscribe She Codes if you haven't subscribed the channel. Like the video, share it with your friends. Thank you. Bye bye. Happy coding.